The next comment comes from XP50 Player. And this was in response to the video I did, All I Want for Christmas is a New Boutique, done in December 2021. And he writes, a most appropriate sneeze to close out the year for you. The JD08 is a 128 voice polyphonic and should be identical to the expansion for the Jupiter X. They are both based on the same ZenCore ABM, which is an analog behavior modeling sound generation concept, also found in the Zenology VST and probably skinned the JD800 plugin. Absent from fun-size JX is the original Unison detune. The previous boutiques were not serious for me due to their low and non-expandable polyphony, besides the D05, of course. Interesting comments. And to be honest, I recorded the video and thought I'd just cut it out and then didn't. Ho hum. I did a sneeze on the video, and I remember this, and then left it in the video, and it's one of those things, we all sneeze and cough and do other bodily functions from time to time where we shouldn't do. But I am interested in the comment that the boutique is 128 voice polyphonic. I haven't read this in any reference material, and I still haven't read this in any reference material, but now that states the guts of the boutiques have been upgraded. Now the boutiques are all based on kind of a similar pattern of technology inside them, and that kind of generates the limitations in terms of things like polyphony, etc. So I was also interested to read that you state that these should be the same as the ZenCore plugouts. I have loaded the version of the JD800 on the Jupiter X a few days ago and have yet to give it a full run up as part of what patches does it have and what do they sound like. And I have now. I mean, obviously this was written some time ago, and I'm quite impressed with the JD800 on the Jupiter X. I have to be honest, and I'll leave it at that. Again, an interesting comment on the fact that Unison detune is absent, but then I guess they have to compensate for the Juno 106 chorus that is being added. So on the JX08, what you get is effectively, I've said it before, it's more like a JX10, but they've also put the Juno 106 chorus on it. So, you know, the reimagination, you get a bit more in the boutique. But until I get our hands on one of these, I really can't say where I think it has been, whether I think it is compensated or not. So, you will see that this is a problem with the originals, and I said this in the video. Roland just saw the original boutique series as gimmicks and really didn't realise how people were going to use them in serious ways. What do you think is the next Roland synth that Roland might launch in this boutique series? They've started to run out of the iconic status synthesizers. Now, XP50 Player then writes back and says, I guess the increased polyphony in these new boutiques, 20 in the JX08, is mainly due to the great efficiency of ABM sound generation over ACB. So that was the previous technology that Roland was using. And Roland have admitted that ACB was, well, gave them the way to emulate the circuits of the original machines, gave them limitations in the way that the sound was generated, and specifically in things like polyphony. And so there was the change in the modelling technique rather than change in the hardware of the boutiques. For a new boutique, I vote for a 707 or a 727 and some kind of V-synth derivative, with at least elastic audio synthesis and vari phrase technology represented. Interesting. I do think the 707 is a good idea. Roland, 707 possibly as a boutique. Might knock the 707 market for 6 in the second-hand area. But I do believe if you've got a TR08, the original, and a TR8S, I think you've got the 707 and the 727. Well, You do on the TR-8S as standard, I believe, but on the original TR-8 it was the upgrade pack, wasn't it? So possibly not. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess, which ones turn up next. There is a rumor there could be a JP or Jupiter 4, which they're calling the JP4, but that is a rumor. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. This next comment and question comes from Sean C. In response to ARM Tech T1 only, T to use PCM. He writes, "Hey John, have you tried the WaveRex PCM card? Allows you to load samples, waveforms and use them like PCM data. I'm trying to similar cards for the R8M and the DRM1. Yes, simple answer. I actually have the WaveRex PCM card for the T1. I'm not sure you've seen it on Instagram post, but I did actually post that the thing had arrived. And getting new ends made for the T1, so that kind of delayed me from really getting into it because I didn't want to really do anything until I actually got the T1 up and running, and now I've put the T1 back into storage. But it is my intention to make some videos about the whole sort of WaveRex experience because it works equally on the T1 as it does on the M1. I've been contemplating getting the same card for the R8, and as you know, at this point in time when I wrote this, cash flow had really dried up, and I was just using the sort of Patreon money for a new sound recorder and SoundSync jammers to improve the whole ambience of the recordings, which I think I have actually achieved quite well with this microphone setup, which is above my head, you can't see, and this sound recorder which is sitting down here. So I keep going back to the sort of the WaveRex sort of proposition for the R8. And again, one of the things that put me off was the fact that my R8 has a damaged screen, and I was on the fence about whether I was going to keep it or wasn't going to keep it. But now I've got this one that I'm going to break. So I'm probably going to do all the repairs on the R8. That's another project that's going to queue up for me to get round to doing. And then I will have a superb R8, and then I will then sell the spares on to you guys. I'm probably going to put something on the website. I need to work on the website, but the whole idea is that if anybody else needs R8 spares, they can come and buy them.